Okay, good morning everybody. Waiting for the sun to come up over the mountain. Starting to used to peak over at 8:30. Now it's not getting over till 9 o'clock. So summer is slipping away. But anyway, here's the garden. Gonna do a little summer garden update. This is kind of like an overview here of the whole area. And we're gonna go up top here and start with the strawberry beds and go up my little makeshift stairway here. See if I can get up it without breaking my neck. I've got to be careful holding this foam because even the side buttons will shut this thing off. So I got to be careful not to touch the side buttons. Anyway, here we are up here with the blueberries. As you can see, the little holograph tape didn't really keep the birds out. They just come in and eat what they please. So we had to put netting over the strawberry beds in here. But the blueberries have done well. Since the plants are small right now, I've been helping myself with the blueberries when I come up here to water and check things. So I get to munch on blueberries. This here, I put a couple of strawberry plants in this blueberry box because I wanted to see how well they would do with the mulch up around them, if it would hurt the crowns. And it hasn't. They've done well. So these here are our ever-bearing strawberry boxes. And they're supposed to put on another crop towards the end of August. And God, we picked so many strawberries. We were seeing strawberries in our sleep, but they were good and we enjoyed them. So these two boxes here are the June bearing boxes, and that plant is a much more aggressive grower and very hardy versus the ever bearing. You can see the spaces between them. So, and these are single plants. I come in here and cut off the daughter plants. That's these things here that come out and root. I don't allow them to stay because I just want these to grow. These plants will survive 3 to 5 years, and they'll be putting on huge strawberries next year if they're not froze out. So we'll have to wait and see. Now these here are my eggplant, which are doing extremely well because those tires heat up and make the soil warm, which is what they want. And there's one right there. You can see the purple one behind that little one. And then there's the beautiful flowers. And we'll be having eggplant to eat. So we fill up on fresh vegetables in the summertime, and then can and store what we can't eat. So it's quite a bit of work. That's why I haven't gotten around to filming any of this. And the lettuce here, it has bolted, which means it's gone to seed, and the leaves get bitter now. So I'll be taking that up. Let me go down here without breaking my neck. There we go. This here's my little wash tub. I wash the vegetables off, stack them up there on the grate. So here is the lettuce, and it's gone to seed. So once it does that, it's very bitter and not as good. But boy, I tell you, it's been good. And I've got new seed coming, so I'm going to do some more starts and get some in here for the fall. So I'm going to pull all this up. Okay, and here is the broccoli, which has you trim constantly. It continues to put out little heads and is very good. You can see like some of the new heads coming on right there. And you can see all the spots where I've been cutting them off. And we just cut them and eat them. So the broccoli's doing real good. And we got a row of cabbage here, which is doing good. You'll see some wormholes. So the worms always go after the cabbage, but I don't spray anything. They don't do that much of a damage. Now here's a nice head that's on this one here. So it's about, that one's ready to be picked, and this one too. So we got cabbage. And this is a different variety. And these heads firm and hard, they're ready to be picked. And we've already picked one right here. And you leave the cabbage growing, it'll put out little cabbage heads all around this. And they'll get up baseball size. And those you will make sauerkraut out of. So, and then of course the cauliflower is ready. This is the cauliflower here. And it's ready to harvest. We've already pulled one, actually had it last night for dinner, broccoli and cauliflower. And as you can see them, all the heads down in there. So this is the one we cut and ate last night. I'm gonna be pulling that plant up because once they produce one head and that's it. They don't do anything else. And then this here is our potatoes, and doing extremely well. Something got in here. I don't know if it was, we have a cottontail rabbit that hangs out around here. And I don't know if it jumped up in here or if a bird landed in there and knocked some of these down, or if the cat was chasing something. I don't know. But the potatoes are doing really well. In fact, I noticed the ground was swelling up down here. And as you can see right there, there's a big potato right there that's growing. So won't be long on these. We'll be doing the curing process and getting those ready for the root cellar that I'm going to be starting here. The backhoe was supposed to get here yesterday, but it had mechanical failure and they're working on it, so I'm supposed to get it next Friday. And down here is our sweet potatoes, which I didn't get the starts till June 1st. And they were just little tiny couple of tiny leaves with like 1 or 2 roots on them. But they're doing good. They are bushing out and vining out and growing and hanging out the back here. So I suspect this whole box will be full of vines overflowing the sides, and which is fine with me as long as we get us a good sweet potato crop. And then if I have to, I've got plastic to cover it up if it starts getting colder and I want to extend it a little bit longer. That's what these hoops are for. Plastic goes right over there and makes a miniature greenhouse. So we'll come back down here. And we'll start off with the tomato plants. And the tomato plants are doing very good. They always do good. And as you can see, full of flowers, full of little green tomatoes up here and bigger tomatoes down there. And you can see here, look at the size of these. Get my hand in here. Show you how big these are. So those are nice big tomatoes all along here. Look at in here, down there. So the tomato plants are doing good. All the way down, just full of tomatoes. And then we got, I've already picked 2 and they were delicious. Put them on my sandwich, but here's some that are ripening down here. And there's another one down there ripening somewhere too. These are our peas, snow peas, which are doing well. We've been picking the heck out of them and eating snow peas. And I need to pick these. These are all ready to be picked and eaten. So they do well. They produce a lot. I mean, I got 2 bags in a refrigerator, and we've given some to the kids. And down here is our Brussels sprouts, and they're doing good. Let me come down here and show you. So there they are there. And they put on those little, and the Brussels sprouts grow right at the base of the leaves. So we've harvested some of those and have been eating those. Now this here is our nursery for strawberries, and it's just, I don't like growing them this way. It's hard to get in there and pick them without stepping on a bunch of stuff. So it's gonna have to be thinned out next year. I was saving this so Cole could get some starts. And you can see there's some strawberries down in here too. And you know, they are, well, they're real ripe, but they are good. Nice and cool from the low temperature of 55 degrees last night. So as you can see, the temperatures, you kind of get acclimated to the cold temperatures up here. Now these are some jalapenos that I did starts with that didn't turn out too good, but the plants are doing well now. And then these here are I'm proud of my bell red pepper plants. And the plants are doing extremely well. They're very healthy. They've already set peppers. They'll start turning red here pretty soon. And we're gonna get a nice harvest of bell red peppers and jalapenos. We'll probably make some salsa with them too. But kind of overview of the garden again. So there's my swallow boxes up there. These swallows are up here. You can hear them chirping. But I got them on every gable on the barn and both houses. And they, here comes some of them now. But they eat a lot of insects. They keep the insects down. We have the yellow jackets will come in here and eat the caterpillars off of stuff. Okay, so these are my jalapeno bushes here, and they're setting jalapenos right there. And then the starts that I bought from Hooper's, the bell red peppers, they're doing good. We're going to have a lot of bell red peppers. And the sweet banana peppers are doing well, as you can see here, all the way down, and some of them are doing extremely well. Look at the size of these guys here, and the same here. So right here we've got our zucchini, green zucchini, which I only have 3 little plants here, and this other is the spaghetti squash, which I'm terminating the end so it can't grow anymore. And but we get more than enough zucchini off of these 3 plants right here. And as you can see, there's zucchini, and the refrigerator's full. And Barbara's made 2 casseroles. One's in the freezer, and we ate one. And then this one here is our yellow squash, which got some coming on here. And I like the yellow squash a lot. But the spaghetti squash, which is our winter storage squash, is doing extremely well. And normally that's the size I get right there, with that being the biggest. But this year, I don't know why, but these suckers are getting huge. And I'll show you this one out here. Look at the size of that spaghetti squash here. It's just unbelievable. It's like a watermelon. But I've got over 22 of them set, so I got more than enough for both our families to put these up in storage, put them in a root cellar, which I'll be working on. When that excavator gets here, I'll start digging the foundation out. These are our carrots, and they're doing very well. Nice and big tops, so they're putting on root crops. And then our beets are doing real well. And I can't wait for the beets to start swelling up and breaking the ground. Actually, that one there went to seed. So I'm leaving it. I'm gonna try to get some seed off of that because I am out of beet seed. And I wanna see how well that produces. And then this here's our green beans. And they're flowering. So they'll be putting more green beans out than we can eat and can, just out of that one row. And then this out here is our green manure crop. So wasn't growing anything in here. So this is buckwheat and Austrian peas. And this will get up to about 3 foot tall, and I'll cut it down and till it into the soil. And it helps to build the soil up. So try to put nutrients back in the soil all the time. This is our corn, and it's doing well. Had some problems starting off, but it's doing good now. Starting to put on tassels. So it won't be long now. They'll probably shoot up another 2 feet, and the tassels will start sprinkling pollen down on top of the corn cobs. And then we'll have us some sweet corn to eat. Okay, now we get over here, and this here is our watermelon patch. Just feast your eyes on how well that's doing. Unbelievable. So now we'll fly down and these are little icebox watermelons. They get the size of a soccer ball or a large softball. So they are in here everywhere. They're hard to find. They're camouflaged, but they get right in here, and they are filling up. They're hard to see. I'm walking along here and I can't see them. I have to sit there and stare. But here we got here. So there's a couple more. There's one there, and one over there. And they're just filling in here left and right. Look at it. Can't even hardly see these two until you part the leaves. But they are growing nicely in here. And then so these are our sweet onions. They're doing good, and we got time yet. Hopefully they'll get bigger. I'd like to see them get up the size of a softball. I like them when they're that big. This here is our cantaloupe, and I haven't been digging around in here to find any, but I did find one in here, and I don't know where it was. Oh yeah, here we go. So there we go. There's a cantaloupe coming on there. So I don't know how many are in this patch. Wait till they get bigger where I can see them. And then this here is the honeydew melon patch. And we've got one growing in here. Where is it? It's right there. So we got honeydew melons on, cantaloupe, watermelons. And then these are our strawberry plants, which we prune the daughter plants off. We don't let them live. And their plants are just beautiful. So that'll stay. We'll leave that next year. That's easy to pick. The nursery, I got to thin out and get rid of most of it. But this is the clover, crimson clover. And the bunny comes over here and she likes to eat the clover. But yeah, real pretty, puts nitrogen in the soil, and the roots will stabilize this edge so I won't get dirt washing down during the spring runoff. So here's the our orchard down there. The apple trees have really, they're loaded with apples. I had to pull a ton of them off. That's an apple tree the top broke out of last year because I left too many apples on. So I've pulled off over 150 apples off of these trees to lessen the weight. And they store well. That's what the root cellar's for. Now we'll wander down here real quick. I'll move along quickly. Hopefully won't make anybody seasick. But this camera does a nice job with stability. I filmed Cole and the kids water skiing and out on the reservoir, and the camera made me look like a pro because I was in the boat with everything shaking, and the picture was just as calm as anything. But we're gonna go down here and look at the blackberry bushes. We've had some winds, and they have broke quite a few of the about 3 or 4 blackberry vines down. So I'm starting to tie them up until they get to that first trellis wire. So there's the little swallows up there. You can maybe see the mama in there. Oh, she went back. She's camera shy, but she had her head poking out. That might have been one of the babies. Okay, so these are our blackberry bushes here. And so you can see here, I've tied them up. And that's to keep the wind from, we get some wind racing around up here. That's to keep the wind from breaking them until they get up to that first trellis wire. And then once they get up there to the trellis wire, they get tied off like this. So, and this one here will go up to that wire. This one here will come up to this wire here, and it'll be topped off, and we'll start letting them grow this way, left and right. It's called a T-pup. So, and as you can see down there, that one there has already been attached, and those 2 down there have been attached. So we'll get those on up there. Got the house opened up. We let the cold air in the morning. It gets the house down to about 60, 67, 66 degrees. And then when the sun comes over that mountaintop, then we close it up, and it keeps the house cool most of the day. We're going up to 90 today. These are all my trees, larch trees, spruce trees, cedar trees that I planted when we first moved here. They were about 12 inches tall. So they are taking off now. And a little yard art there, a stump. Big old larch tree stump. And I'll show you out here where the root cellar's gonna go. So as you can see, that maple tree right there, maple bush, there was one where the root cellars got to go. And so I already cut it out in preparation for the backhoe to get here. But the root cellar's gonna be right here. So we'll come around this way and approach the bottom side, which will be a daylight side. And then you can see that's where one of the corners will go, and the other corner will go here, And then the other one down there and down there. So this is where that maple tree was, which was huge. So I cut it down so it's easier to dig this stump out and dig a hole. I got to go down 14 foot from that spot down into the ground. And then here, Stanley was wanting to see the house. So this is our house with the siding on it, our flag. The sun getting ready to crest over, and the kids' house. And then we've got that side, I got dirt filled in over there that we had brought up. There's a pile of cow manure down there for the garden. And then I've got to spread out those dirt piles there. And let's hope that I don't run into any of these when I'm digging this hole, because they are hard to move. In fact, I don't think I could move those. But that's it for now. And I'll take another picture once we start digging up the potatoes and harvesting things, and some more film of the root cellar when it's done. But this is the driveway entrance for the kids' house right here. It comes right through here, all these trees. Down in here. And as you can see, the deer love my western red cedars. So they keep the lower half cropped. But I planted these trees, they were 12 inches tall. So I planted them about, 12 years ago. Right along with these oaks. And actually we have, then I planted some more, they're a little smaller. And they're slow to grow, very slow season. You only get about 3 or 4 months of summer. So there's a bigger oak tree down there. One in the front and one behind it. The one behind it is the biggest. Okay, and then this is up to our house, this driveway here. That goes to the kids' house down there. And then this comes up to our house through here. It gives you an idea where the blackberries are. They're planted over here. And then the orchard there. The waterfall is way up there, and it's only trickling right now. But that's where the waterfall is. And then our house right in here. And then behind the orchard is the garden up in there. Okay, gang, enjoy. We'll catch you all later.